Okay, this is a little simple training video. A lot of people ask me online what this unit is. This is the Maritime Raid Force. This is no longer around in the U.S. military. Now we have VBSS teams directly with the Recon Marines, and so this was a joint force. We took sailors from Assault Craft Unit 1 and we joined with 1st Recon. So they would do the VBSS portion and we would do the Navy stuff, like drive the boats, park the boats, pick them up and stuff like this. So right now we're in training. Our group at Assault Craft Unit 1 was special because we could go over the horizon. Over the horizon means I can't see the ship anymore. So if you're on a ship and you look out at the horizon of the world at about 12 miles or so, that's when the world starts bending and you'll start losing sight of whatever you're looking at. So we could take a boat anywhere. We could take a boat as far as we could go with gas, basically. So a couple hours out into the abyss of the ocean to make an assault or whatever. So we're very special. Whereas a VBSS team that is attached to a ship, they have to stay within eyesight of the ship when they're making an assault on a bad guy. I hope that makes sense. I'll explain it a little bit more in this video. But what we've taken off from Naval Station Coronado in San Diego, and we're way out in the middle of the ocean and to meet up with the ship, and then the Marines are going to come in here. Here come the Marines in the Osprey. I think they can have like 10, 15 folks in the Osprey. The Osprey, you see dual rotors. There is a pilot on each side of those rotors. And if you talk to a Marine about an Osprey and the ride, it's not a very fun ride. They're notorious for crashing. In fact, just the testing phase of the Osprey killed 30 people before it hit the market. The U.S. Military bought it. So it's not the best vehicle to be flying around there, but it carries a lot of people and we use the Ospreys a lot. There it lands. Okay, now the Marines are going to get out of the Osprey and they're going to traverse through the ship and they're going to go to a loading station where we can pick them up. We can put them on our ship. So here we're going to come in and we're going to go up to this door on the side of this ship, and you'll see the ladder come down. You'll see the door here come down. And so we're going to pick up 8 Marines per boat. And there's many ways that you can get a ship, or you can get people on and off of that ship. They have a huge well deck. Sometimes boats will, landing crafts or LCACs will spit out of the back of that ship like that. It's a huge, huge area to where it can fill up with water, and we can, basically put whatever we want in there. It's so big. The inside of it's like bigger than a basketball gymnasium. Okay, so you see there, here the Marines are waiting right there. There's the ladder, and we're just going to bump up on the ship, and we're going to try to keep it. And we're both moving, so the ship's not stagnant here. It's moving through the water, and so are we. So we're going to match the speed and the course. We called up to the captain, what course are you on? So we're going to keep that course. We're going to keep next to the ship. Most of this day is sitting and waiting around. I mean, we were chock full of snacks and MREs. We're going to be, we started early in the morning, and this thing will last all stinking day. Now, that warship right there is also a gas station. So if we end up going all day and we need gas, they have a gas nozzle that comes right through that door, and then we can fill up our boats through the ship. We use the ship's gas for that. Okay, now we have all the Marines on board, and we have probably more than we should. There should be only 8 Marines. But they kind of stack them in because this is training. This isn't like a real-time event. Now come the helicopters, the Black Hawk helicopters. I think these are Navy helicopters, but they're going to be assisting us with the assault training. Now, this is early in training. We basically went through a couple schools and we know what we're getting into. But the training with the Marines, this is very rudimentary stuff. You'll see we have red rubber guns. They're not real guns. And there's our training ship. So the ship that we're going to assault, it's used just for training and for transporting cargo and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's an actual Navy ship or whatever, but we at least rent it to do our practice runs on it. And so right now we're coordinating with the bridge of the ship, like, okay, we're ready. We've identified the ship. We've made all the proper commands. Now out in the ocean, we can't just jump on other people's boats. We have to have some sort of probable cause to go get them. And we have to have some sort of communication back and forth. And usually if a ship's out there and it's not, doesn't have its identifying marks like a flag, what country they're from, or or a serial number on the boat that they're in. If there's just some random boat out there going around, then we can pretty much go get it. Here the Marines are climbing up on the practice boat, and you'll see they're going real slow. We don't want anybody falling into the drink because that could result in a death pretty easily. This is an easy climb, a very simple ladder. I think they do have the caving ladder here out right now, and you'll see the helicopters flying around too. Now the helicopters have snipers in them, a sniper on each door. So they have, I think, 4 snipers in the air, and they do practice shooting. They practice on this boat, so they'll set up a target and they'll drive by, and then the snipers will make target practice on the boats. So it's a lot different process than when you're shooting from ground, obviously. But as you can see here, I'm getting wet the entire time. There is no dry moments on the boat. It's wet and it's wild, and there's a lot of moving going on here. And we're getting all the Marines onto the boat. And as soon as they get on, now we have a whole staff of Marine teachers, and they're basically the qualifiers for us. So if they pass this event, then they go on to the next event. The Marines go through the ship. They're using paintball simunition rounds, the little paintball rounds, and they're the instructors. The Marine instructors are the bad guys, and they're doing a full scenario inside the rooms of this boat that we're assaulting. And man, this is an easy day for us. We're just kind of cruising around, coming in. I mean, besides the travel, I mean, we've been on that water for hours and hours at this point. And you'll see them doing their thing. They're going up and down. They're clearing the boat, making sure there's no drugs, there's no rockets, there's no people hanging around. Now, as I said before, if a Marine falls off, it's a scary moment. So the Marines brought a safety boat, and on that safety boat, you got a search and rescue swimmer, whatever the equivalent is for a Marine, and you have a bunch of people that know pretty high level type medical folks on that boat. So, using them is a bad day, but they're just there as a backup to us. When you're doing a VBSS assault, you got top down, bottom up. So we're going to be coming from helicopters. They're going to be fast roping onto the boats, and we got people climbing onto the boats. So it's an all full tilt assault. The bad guys have no freaking chance. We have more guns on board than you can imagine, and the difference between our militaries and their militaries is we're all dying to do this. We all volunteered to do this. We have not been stolen off the street. We don't have any other jobs. This is what we want to do, and that makes us very strong because we do not have we don't have mandatory forces. We have volunteer forces. So you got a bunch of people that want to be here. Whereas, if you get a Chinese ship, you got 3/4 of those people are forced to be in the military. And people that are forced will generally quit much quicker than somebody who's dreamt about this their whole life. We're just watching the helicopters here. The day is pushing on. Over and over, we do this event over and over and over until everybody gets it. Everybody's done it enough to where they feel perfect and comfortable and they could do it in real life. You'll notice the sea state here. It's not that bad. It's like 1 or 2 feet of seas. It gets bad if you're going really fast. You can hit those bumps and you can get a little bit of air each time, but you'll see this is a pretty moderate sea state. You can make any boat assault in this sea state and you'll be fine. Even if somebody falls off, you'll probably be okay. Easy to see people in the water with such a small sea state. It's the ideal conditions, and that's why it's a perfect day for training. Here's another run. So after we've put the Marines on board, after they've cleared the ship, then we go back to the ship. We pick up another crew, and this is the prize crew. These are the people that know how to operate boats. You got an engineer, you got humanitarian type folks, people that take care of if there's kids or whatever. You'll have EOD on board, making sure that if there's bombs or rockets, whether they're not volatile. And we're just going to put on the right people that can drive this ship that we just took over, and they're going to take it now. And there's a couple things they can do. You can see the prize crew. Actually, this is a VBSS team, but imitating a prize crew. A prize crew will either sink the boat or will tow it somewhere, and it can get scrapped or something like that. I'm just chilling this whole time, having a great time. Video is not a big deal. There's no OPSEC going on here. This is just straight up training and fun times. And there was never a moment in my Navy career where I did not want to be on the water. If you weren't on the water, you're having a boring day sitting around, and your people are trying to find ways for you to do work like clean or whatever. So no sitting around in the military, although when you join the military, you're going to realize that we are severely underused. We have all this power and firepower, and there's all these bad guys, but we are restricted by the ladder of brass, by the chain of command. And so we're just out there, we're ready to go. We have all the tools to make it happen. After you do this for a certain amount of time, your seasickness goes away. You're not nearly as susceptible to seasickness as you would be when you first start out. And the first couple of training events, we were all pretty much throwing up. But I got over seasickness real quick during this training. All right, prize crew is on. We're cruising around, just making circle after circle. Of course, the captain of the ship is observing. Everybody's observing, making sure that we can do this job. And there's several more trainings after this, but this is just like, the start of it all. We're probably as good a VBSS crew as possible in the United States Navy. And then there's the long drive home. My batteries are out, so I had to kind of like preserve battery. And then we get home at night. That's part of our thing too, not only over the horizon stuff, but we do most of our work in the dead of night. So we do a lot of training at night. These days are long, man. They are long days and unforgiving, and you're going to be sore for the next few days afterwards. But it's a heck of a time. It was a heck of a time. And again, this whole thing is no longer available. Maritime Raid Force is now just the Marines, I think. But yeah, Assault Craft Unit 1 does not hold this command anymore. And there's a couple of reasons for that. But the main reason being the guy who started it, Chief Warrant Officer 5, John King, he is no longer at the command. And he went on to do bigger and better things. And then this program at Assault Craft Unit 1 basically just folded over. And it was about as good a command as you can ever ask for. I mean, I was an E5 at the time when we were doing this training. And I mean, just to have the experiences of being a small boat quartermaster and doing all this cool work with the U.S. Marines was such a blast. And it was a rewarding experience I'll never forget. And here we are coming in. You could see the boats just cruising along. It's glass out there. It was a heck of a day, beautiful day. And one of those days where, yeah, it's tiring and you get home and you're bushed. But that's one of the great feelings too, like a full day accomplished mission. And now that's called PMINT. That was the training it was called. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but now we go to another certification thing with USS Somerset, and we'll eventually be living on the USS Somerset during training as well as the Marines, and doing everything off of there before we go on deployment. So again, the whole deployment's not as easy as it seems. You can't just roll out on deployment. The testing phase for these warships are immense, and there's so many boxes that they have to check before they can go out and fight the bad guys. So that's that's a cool little video. I love it. I hope you liked it. It was the most rewarding time of my Navy career, and that's the only thing that I really miss about it, is just being out in the water and hanging out and doing these cool things. So, all right, hope you liked it. Have a great day.